welcome to Multiplying Talents. My name is Aretha Simons. I'm here to help you multiply your talents and not your problems. Listen, I love what I do. I get to meet people every day who are doing something in the community. They want to start a nonprofit because they see something that's making them mad. They see something that they know they can change, and I get to be a part of it. And then they get to help other people who I may never meet. And that's how I multiply my talents, by sharing ideas, resources, and helping them start and maintain their nonprofit corporation. Beyond that, we also do grant writing. I do a lot of grant writing workshops, so I'm teaching you. Look, the way I multiply my talents is I teach you what I know. Then you go out and you use it, you multiply your talent, and just keeps going on and on. So listen, I want to talk about starting a nonprofit. A lot of people call me, they're already incorporated, they've already got their EIN, and they don't have to work. I'm happy. That's great. That's less work for me. But I want to make sure you do it right. So a lot of times I have to go back and amend, which means to add or change or correct their articles of incorporation, because they leave out the IRS verbiage that's required by the IRS. You have to swear or affirm that you have this IRS language in your articles of incorporation. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the word of the day. And the nonprofit word of the day is the 27-month rule. So the 27-month rule is, as I said, some people already incorporated, some people already have their EIN. Most people that I know, they go and get their EIN, and some of them had their EIN for years. Listen, I started doing 501c3s. I started preparing them in 1999. This is where you had to either order the form or you had to go to the library or go somewhere, and I had to reproduce all those forms so I can have a stack of them, and you can only handwrite in them or you could type in them. Luckily, I've been typing since ninth grade, so I used to type in them, and I had the little correction tape. But look, that's a whole nother story. But I'm telling you that the form has changed and evolved multiple times, at least 6 times. I wrote a book in 2004. That form has changed 3 times since I wrote that book, The Best Guide for Nonprofit Corporations. When you get your employee identification number, aka EIN, the clock starts. Because what you have just said is, hey, IRS, I'm in business. Hey, IRS, I started a bank account. Hey, IRS, I started a business. And you may not do anything with the EIN, but the clock has started ticking. And so before, like I said, the early 2000s, when I was doing 501c3 99, the IRS, they went by the date you were incorporated. When you filed for your 501c3, they stamped it all the way back to the date you were incorporated. And that was good. But now, and they're not telling a lot of people, they changed the rule. They're going back and they're searching to the time you got your EIN. And who gives you your EIN? The Internal Revenue Service. So that's easy for them to look up and say, hey, you started this business in 2005 because you got the EIN now. You didn't start the business, you didn't incorporate, you didn't do anything else, but you got the EIN and you held on to it. So I know a lot of people have like 15 EINs and never did anything with it. You can go on irs.gov and get an EIN in less than 2 minutes. It's free. Please do not use these other websites, einonline.com. Any .com is not an official government website. Any official government website ends with .gov. So the 27-month rule applies for when you want to go and file for your 501c3 status. They look at your date and your time. You got the EIN or when you were incorporated, and they say, you've been incorporated longer than 27 months, or you've been incorporated, or you've had the EIN for longer than 27 months. So churches, that doesn't apply, because I did a church that had been in existence since 1972, and they just filed for their 501c3. So the IRS is very lenient when it comes to church. So I don't know why all y'all scared. All y'all churches scared at the IRS, saying you don't want them in your business. Everybody's in everybody's business. You turn on your phone, somebody's in your business. So let's just squash all that. So when nonprofits apply for the 501c3 and they had their articles of incorporation or their EIN longer than 27 months, you have to fill out the long form and do Schedule E. and you have to explain to them why you did not file. There's certain reasons you could say why you didn't file. Maybe an attorney filed it for you and they didn't give you great legal advice. Or maybe you just didn't know what you didn't know. But they have little check marks you can check in there. And what they'll do is give you your 501c3 from the date they get it. They'll timestamp it from the date they get it and not from the date that you incorporate it. So there's ways to fix it. But if you want to keep that history, pay attention to the 27-month rule, because again, we want to multiply our talents and not our problems.